In this video, we will demonstrate how to do precise searching for journal articles. Unlike Google, where you'll get 100,000 items, these databases have tools that allow you to narrow your results down to the appropriate thing. Normally, what you can do in a subject field, let's pick a subject here, and we'll pick business. There's a list of databases in the left column. And the first database, Academic Search Complete, is good for every subject area. And so there's 800 core journals, and that's where almost everybody should start. And then in each subject page, there are other databases that go into thousands more in-depth journals. So Business Source Complete would be the appropriate one for business people. CINAHL would be for nursing. Education Resource Complete would be for education people. They all use the same interface as Academic Search Complete. So once you know how to do it here, you'll be able to do searching in most of our databases. So let's take a look at Academic Search Complete. This is called the EBSCOhost interface. Okay, but the database is Academic Search Complete in this case. And what you see here are a number of different options. The first thing is you can put in keywords. You can even limit it to specific fields. So if you have an author name, you can just search the author name if you want. You'll also notice down below there are database-specific limitations. So you can start your search by saying, I only want certain languages, I only want certain publication types, I only want certain types of documents, journal articles, or popular magazines. For each database, the choice of limits is specific. So you might have special subject vocabularies or treatment codes. So using below is a much more powerful way to limit your search to start with. Now, we're just going to put in a word to start with as your first search. So we will say, and as you type in, you'll see that they even give you pull downs of the most popular things. So you might want type 2 diabetes or type 1 diabetes. We might want all kinds of diabetes. Okay, so if you just put in a keyword, it will pick up both. But if you really want to limit it, you pick one of these. Okay, and we're not going to choose a field at this point. And you can also put in another term at this point. So if you want diabetes and treatment, you could put in treatment, and in this case, I'm going to say treatment and put an asterisk, which will pick up truncation for treatment or treatments. Okay, so now I'm combining diabetes and treatment. I'm not putting any other limitations down here yet. I'm going to say search. And now what we see is 91,000 results. So we need to narrow this down some more. And there are some obvious ways to narrow them down, and most of them are on the left side here. In this column, you can see the limitations of your results. You can go full text only. I wouldn't recommend that to start with because you might miss a really important article that we don't get in full text and you could ask for, but it's a way to narrow it down later. You can also say that you want to see just popular magazines or academic journals, and that would narrow it down to just peer-reviewed material, which is often what you're really looking for. Another way to narrow it down is using vocabulary. Here's controlled vocabulary. It's called the thesaurus. If you click here, this says within the 91,000, there's high emphasis on diabetes or treatment. So these are subject terms that would give you a much more specific subset of items. Use controlled vocabulary. The other option, subject, means just keywords. So within here, these are the most common words that show up. So you'll find the articles that have high emphasis based upon keywords. Some databases don't have a thesaurus, and keyword is the only way to get to things. So you want to use a combination of these two things. Another way to narrow something down is if you find an article that looks really good, let's say this first one, if you click on it, what you'll find now is the full information about the article, and you'll see here the subject terms that are used and even some keywords. So you could say, oh yeah, that's exactly what I want. The blood pressure aspect, so if you click blood pressure, it will actually do a search now on blood pressure, but it doesn't combine them yet because you'll see you have a large number. So you go to search history, which is right in the top, and then you say, I want to combine the blood pressure and the diabetes and treatment using an and between the two. So this and that. And then you run your search, and now you've narrowed it down to 1929. So you still can narrow it down more on the left with additional subject headings, or you can type in additional keywords after you've looked things over. So these are ways to narrow it. The other thing you can do is you can see these results are ranked by relevance, and that may not always matter to you. So if you change that to date newest first, it resorts them so the most current thing is at the top. And so each of these now are the most recent articles on your topics as you've either put in keywords or used subject headings or dug down into subject headings from each article. Okay, so these are ways that you can actually find the right information, the most specific information. Now, the same approach, like I said, will work in any database, but your initial results and your subject headings will be customized for the articles you want. If you use the multi-database search tool, you will lose this type of precision because the vocabulary does not carry from database to database, but you will get broader coverage. So in some cases that might be useful. But the power of these databases is the ability to narrow results using a variety of ways of subject breakdowns. If you need more information about this, contact the librarian.